your other disagreement, past drug use is a deal breaker.
Yeah, so I definitely was doing drugs when I was dating, when I was around my ex, partying with people, doing college. And I think that people can definitely change. So I found yoga and completely changed my lifestyle and my habits and the places that I put myself in. And I think that everybody is like should be given a second chance to start over, to not be judged by like maybe a mistake or a situation that happened to them.
Well, okay. So this, I always get confused by this term judge. So what if I, for example, you used to do heroin. What's that? Oh, you're telling us what you did?
No. I was saying like for you, it's your preference, right?
But like, because I feel like a lot of times when people bring up the judgment thing, you would also agree that people are free to have their preferences.
I agree.
So I personally think that drug use, past or present, is a deal breaker. Is that a judgment? I would not date somebody without saying anything about who they are or they're a terrible person. Let's say I don't say they're a terrible person. I just say I would not date somebody who, past or present, was addicted to drugs, for example.
Like,
is that a judgment or a preference?
Like you would say for sure that would never happen.
I mean, there's perhaps it could be some outlier scenario where she's like amazing and maybe it's possible, but I'm leaning very much towards if you were previously addicted to heroin, yes, I would not date you.
So I think it's just something that a lot of people all over the country have dealt with or been around.
Not arguing about that.
And
terrible thing. I wouldn't date them.
That's
not
fine.
optimal.
That's your prerogative.
Suboptimal.
Yeah,
Suboptimal.
Exactly.
Suboptimal dating choice.
I agree. I think that's fine for you. I just don't. I don't think that.
What?
I don't think
we should preclude them from date, like as partners.
They should still be allowed to date.
I didn't say that.
Of course.
But I think it's a suboptimal dating choice. And I advise men not to date those women. And I personally, in my own dating life, would choose not to date those a woman.
Would you also advise women to the same thing? To not?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would, yeah.
You've done it before. Last time we were on it, you said the same thing. Don't date a drug addict.
It's not like this double standard thing where it's like, well, men, you need to have really high standards for women, and women, you just need to accept all of these conditions in men. No. I don't have a double standard on it. But what's your argument here?
My argument is that I disagree that it should be a qualifier for somebody if they have had something like that in their past, that they can't be a changed person and it still be like that it would still haunt your relationship and you would have to worry about it.
Okay, so if presented with the option, two exact same people, but they both physically attractive in the same way, but one was previously addicted to heroin and the other wasn't, it occurs to me that if I have the option, I would certainly pick the one who wasn't addicted to heroin.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Well, but so you say obviously, but it doesn't seem like it's that obvious to you.
Well, it's like it's a feelings versus an analytical thing, right? Like how we feel about something versus your basic facts of saying, well, if you date somebody who used to be a drug addict, obviously they're going to be more of a liability or
there could be
whatever
there could be health
exactly.
persisting despite them totally turning a new leaf. Let's even say that they would never use drugs again. There could be some negative health consequences.
Yeah. I agree.
Certain drugs like permanently like change your body or like your
brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I said like certain drugs like permanently change your body or your brain. So even if you like stop doing them, you're kind of like
I think
damages those
fear
certain
of relapse
cells.
is very real as well.
Temptation.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that too. But I'm
For
just
sure.
like also,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Because like that would affect me the most, even if they're completely recovered and everything else. It's just the constant fear of they're acting strange. I'm like, back of my head, maybe have they relapsed? Like,
Yeah. Trust.
yeah,
It's
trust.
a
Building
very
that
similar
trust, right?
conversation that we were. What was your name?
Kylie.
And you,
Nika.
Nika. It's like
Yeah.
the conversation we were having with Nika as well. So did you say that you used to do drugs?
I did. Yeah.
Right. So like that thing that resonates with you because that's like
Exactly.
a personal thing, and then
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
why is it negative? And then you know what I mean? And it's
Correct.
like,
And I understand.
Right.
I understand why it's a negative, but it's also one of those things that so many people experience that they don't want to feel like they're like she felt, right? Like bipolar. If you have bipolar, like, oh, there's no options out there for you. You're not gonna find somebody who loves you or that understands the situations or life path that you've been
I don't know
on,
if women
right?
date like this, but I feel like, and Brian, do you date like this as well? Like you mentioned like something's suboptimal. We're looking at things very like logically, like these are the best chances at having a successful mate, right? And so you disqualify certain things based on data. Basically, that's all it is, right?
Well, and the funny thing is that women enjoy a far greater level of sexual selectivity as compared to men. Women have far greater, I would argue, sexual optionality, but also I would even argue that women have dating on easy mode as compared to men. So you have far more optionality. Women are typically fairly well known for being very selective when it comes to who they date. You'll select based on personality. You'll select based on his ability to provide. You'll based on personality traits. So I think it's almost because women are the sexual selectors, it's almost shocking for a lot of women to hear men actually articulate preferences, standards, and boundaries, because I would argue probably most of your dynamics with men, you guys are all being the sexual selectors, right? Like the guys are chasing after you. So it's weird for you to hear a guy like because most men are trying to get at you and they'll do anything for the pussy.
Pussy got power.
Anything for the pussy, right? And so it's weird. And guys will like, you could tell a guy, I used to be a drug addict. And guys are so pressed for pussy, they're going to be like, it's okay, babe. That's
I'm gonna try
cool.
it. I'm a social experiment. I'm gonna try that.
They won't like actually tell you that actually might be an issue long term. But I do think because women fall into the being the sexual selectors, when you do hear a guy say, actually, no, I'm disqualifying you because of X, Y, Z, it's a bit like shocking.
Yeah.
Because most men just like women pick amongst, women are the rejectors typically. Men will approach you, you pick from the best of them. They've already kind of pre-picked you, and then you get to pick from them.
Yeah.
And then you turn, oh, this guy's short, this guy's got a fucking toupee,
But how does that argument work with
this guy's a left-leaning Twitch streamer,
what we were
I'm
saying,
fucking down.
what we were saying earlier about like a lot of times there are people who like dating like people they can fix or whatever. Like so how does that
That's
argument
weird,
still
bro.
hold?
You should see a therapist for that shit.
There's a lot of people who like to date
Yeah.
like
Well,
men.
on the guy's side, we say Captain Save-A-Ho, and on the women's side, you're
It's-
like, you
I can
fix her, right?
fix
I can
him.
fix him.
Exactly.
You know, and I think that it's just it's a
I've never heard
challenge.
of Captain Save-A-Ho.
I have
Captain
a
Save-A-Ho.
I have a question for you. You had a history of drug use, correct? Drug addiction.
Yeah, with the ex.
May I ask what the drug was?
So painkillers, and it was kind of a trigger of when he would go into his manic episodes and like
Opiates.
yeah,
Okay.
and that was like my trigger. So when I felt sad and like he didn't love me and he was like angry with me or whatever, I wanted to feel like warm and safe, and because he had supply to that, that's what I turned to, right?
Okay. So I have a question for you. How tall are you?
5'8".
5'8".
5'8".
Would you date a guy who's shorter than you?
I have. They both of the guys that I did the longest were shorter than me.
I just got bamboozled. All right.
Checkmate.
Unfortunately, my argument on this one is not. Really? How tall were they?
I mean,
like, are you making
the child, like the one I was with the longest was probably like a half inch shorter than me, and then the second guy I dated after him was probably 2 or 3 inches short.
She got
2
me.
inches shorter
She
than
got me,
I
boys.
think all women like only date taller men, because like I would be fine dating a shorter man. I just don't think they were like
How
cis.
tall
Because
is your
I'm
boyfriend?
he's like 5'11".
How tall are you?
5'2". That's the thing.
Okay.
I'm not gonna find a guy that's shorter than me probably. So
Well, but,
that's
I
not
mean,
even an option.
Out there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all women, like some women will date men who are short or even shorter than them. But I mean, do you disagree that generally speaking,
Yeah,
women
generally speaking,
are
that's a
attracted to tall
preference.
men?
But like, I feel like also women are more prone to value personality more than like physical. I mean, correct
Actually,
me if I'm
kind of
wrong.
disagree on that one.
Really? More so
yeah.
than men, at least. Like, I feel like women
I
value
don't know about
personality
that
more
one.
than men. Really?
I don't know about that
Because
one.
it could be a little bit shorter, like 5'8", but you have this
Yeah.
confidence and like ooze of
Heck
energy
yeah.
versus somebody who's like 6'1" and is like shy and like just not.
I
not
actually think women are
talkative.
way picky,
But-
are much more pickier physically than men are, and they have far more rigid standards when it comes to body types and physical characteristics.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
What? Couldn't
And the things that women do care about typically tend to be entirely out of men's control. So, for example, height, out of man's control. Balding, 100% out of a man's control. Penis size, 100%. I don't know why I pointed at you.
Whoa!
100%. Take it easy, little moles. 100 peen size, 100% out of man's control. Whereas for men, it's like weight. Just don't be fat is basically it for men.
That's not true. There's more to it than just that.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Maybe
but
that's your preference, but
Yeah.
what do you mean?
like
You saying like dudes just be
no, I'm just
trying to
saying like men
fuck a bunch of
probably.
fat chicks? Is that what's up?
No, I'm just saying like men probably have like.
If she's
more
got a big
preferences
labia.
than just weight.
Oh, I said that way too loud.
You got excited there.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Wait a minute,
just
what's
so
that
passionate.
If
Yeah.
like the bigger the labia, the bigger the BMI.
So how does your nonprofit work, by the way? Like, just curious.
What do you mean?
Like-
Big labia matter?
Yeah.
It's like it's just like an advocacy group, like,
That's really nice.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy.
So like,
I'm a feminist.
How do I
do you
donate?
reach out to people who like are
Streamlabs.com/whatever.
not happy with their labia, or how does that
No,
work?
I don't reach. It's
Or
like
they reach out to.
I mean, I do. Okay, it's like the thing is kind of
It's a joke.
A joke,
Yeah.
but I actually am in favor of big labia. I'm a fan. What's up?
Okay.
That's real? You're actually
I
a
like,
fan?
dude. I like big labia. The bigger, the better. I want to meet a girl who's like Guinness World Record
Labia?
labia.
Why? It was just for curiosity.
Like, you know how like there's like the biggest dick? Like, where's the biggest labia? I'm trying to find her, bro.
Is she the one for you?
I might get if
She's probably
I'll
dating
marry.
the biggest dick guy.
I will
Like,
marry
Guinness record.
the woman with the biggest labia. I'll get married under those
Truth Bomb
circumstances.
donated $100. I'll take on the past drug use. I was an addict earlier in my life and completely turned it around. Own several business and have an 8-figure net worth. Life happens.
Well, look, I have compassion for people that previously struggled, if it's mental illness or currently struggling even mental illness or drug use. But again, like for me, that would be because I don't do drugs, barely even drink. I'll drink maybe 2 or 3 times a year. I'll have 1 glass of wine. That's the extent of it. Don't drink, don't do drugs, don't smoke. So this is like a values thing, but I also do think that somebody who's, for example, addicted to meth, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm a pass.
Well,
Like,
it's the argument too of like even the body count. To you, it's suboptimal. Like
suboptimal.
It's
I'm not saying like, okay,
you could date a recovering drug addict, but it's or a recovered.
how
drug
big's her
addict.
labia?
Exactly.
Again, here's the thing you have to understand about me. I'm very forgiving if the labia is like massive.
This is crazy.
So
Why is
she
it
got
crazy?
the biggest labia, but she got a super high body count. Like, how does that?
And that's why the labia is big.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't- I don't-
Whoa, what's going on?
I don't know what works like
No, exactly.
Body count's a pretty big.
But
That's
she got a
pretty-
big labia though. So
The biggest labia.
like, he's like contemplating like what.
I
You
still
gotta
have
think about it.
values.
Ponder.
I still have values, but wait, how did we get onto the fucking big labia thing? What the fuck?
She was asking about how
I was
does your
just curious
nonprofit
about
work?
it. Like, I didn't know how.
Oh no, but look,
yeah.
I do I know we're kind of like having a laugh about it. Just really quick on that, I do think it's unfortunate if women get shamed for their genitalia, much in the same way that I think we shouldn't shame men for, if they have small penis.
What's your take on micros?
What's your take on micros? Is a crazy question.
Damn, bro. I thought I had an ally in you when it comes to the anti-genitalia shaming. What's my thought on them? I don't know. You should ask your ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
Got him.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. Your ex-boyfriend, no idea who he is, but I'm sure he's good. I'm sure he's hung like a mongoose.
No take.
Like a mongoose.
Wait, that would not be a big take, though. I don't know.
It's just such an insane question.
It's ridiculous, bro.
It just came to mind when we were talking about it.
What do you think? You got micro penises on your mind, bro.
Well,
You wanna
we
tell
just
us
all
all
the
she
comment
talks
because like
about?
you were
Is
like
that all she talks about?
genitalia
Honestly, yeah.
shouldn't be shamed. So I was like, okay, what's your
Okay.
take on micros?
Learn about this for the next 5 days.
But Truth Bomb, I got some mad respects for you, Truth Bomb. But just from a dating perspective, me personally and my advice, I would not date a woman. It was like shooting up heroin.
You wouldn't date a
That's
woman.
right, I'm gay.
Period.
I'm a
End of period.
homosexual.
He came out just now. I would not
I
date
would
a
not
woman.
date a woman. Clipped. Yeah. What the fuck? Clipped.
And the statement.
I would not. I was doing like a pause
It was a long pause.
for theatrical effect. I would not date a woman who
There we go.
was like shooting up heroin like behind this fucking in the 7-Eleven back lot
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
in her fucking fucked up Mazda Miata.
Seems normal.
Okay, let's moving on.